What's up, everybody? This is episode 10 of the Late Night Channel Eeps. I'm your host, EEPMON, and I just came back from the Canadian Museum of History's The Paper Trail, a history of the Chinese Exclusion Act in Canada. A dark and almost forgotten history tucked away, something that I myself, being born and raised here in Ottawa, Canada, growing up, never mentioned in the history books. Perhaps a mention here and there in regards to the Chinese head tax and how the Chinese worked on or were instrumental to the CN Rail development. But the very nature of what is called the Chinese immigration certificates, or here, the CIs, a dizzying array of certificates and documentation specifically targeted to the Chinese coming to Canada back in the day, was never mentioned because it was racist. It was discrimination. An ugly, dark truth in our history of our nation here in Canada. So I just came back from the evening event, which brought the Chinese Canadian Museum from Vancouver, the CEO, Melissa Lee, and the curator for the paper trail to the 1923 Chinese Exclusion Act, to the History Museum for a panel discussion about this very topic. My involvement was to create a mural to reflect the Chinese immigration certificates and this history. My brother's family, of course, my sister-in-law and my nieces and my nephew and myself last year had the honor to have been given a private tour of the paper trail exhibition at the Chinese Canadian Museum. Catherine Clement was very kind to tour us around, and I can tell you, it was a bombshell revelation. I was inspired, shocked, and all at the same time. So much so that when I was asked to see if I would be interested to create an art piece to reflect the paper trail, I did not, without hesitation, I accepted this very symbolic and meaningful project. The mural is currently on display, and I can tell you that I am very honored, I'm very happy, and I'm also very relieved that my creation, based on the material source that was provided and the research I've done, lived up to the quality and expectation of the curator and the Chinese Canadian Museum, and of course the Canadian Museum of History. This is, creating art for art's sake is one thing. But I find myself these days, if I have the technical skill set and know-how and the creative ability to create art, I would never have thought that I would find myself creating art with a strong purpose, a message, a reminder about the fragility of our societies. Yet such reminders through the power of art can create empathy, hope, and a better future, reminding us of the racism and the atrocities that has happened in the past a reminder of not that we shall not, and hope we do not, repeat this again. I also find that in this increasingly polarized societies, we need to have these conversations again. And I'm beginning to realize that the power of art is truly a vehicle to build empathy, conversation, understanding, and remove barriers. I've never thought that I would be creating artwork, honestly, that serves such a powerful purpose. If you were to ask me 20 years ago, I would be just creating art for art's sake, having fun with it, creating, some really cool stuff, experimenting cool stuff. And I still do it today. I do. But I believe I built such a, through my many years, let's say almost 20 years in the creative industry, that the experience and the path and the trajectory that I've taken has led me to realize that I have a great power. I have a great power that I yield that must be for the good. And if there's anything, this paper trail event was a clear example of how art and utilizing the power of art, channeling through my energy, through my mode, from my perspective, through my lens, can create dialogue and art as a mode for healing. So I have to think a lot about that. It's a very powerful thing. It's actually quite incredible that this has transpired. And to have this task and this responsibility is beyond honorable. It's what makes us human. Something that perhaps we seem to forget because we're so stuck in our day-to-day lives. Day-to-day lives doing, whatever the task at hand. But fundamentally, we need to step back and remind ourselves that we're all human beings and we're all in this together. Yeah. So it's been quite a incredible month, very productive. And I can't believe there's still more to come before this month is out. But I truly believe that this particular event has opened up new channels, new responsibilities, and continued moral obligation to do good. That's the power of art. Like, you should have saw today. Everyone was together. We were all unified. We were all in this together. I'm going to be giving some, we took a big group photo in front of my mural. It was to celebrate, but it was also to remind ourselves. It was about healing. It was about communication, understanding, empathy, cross-generational. It was quite moving. And incredibly, we did it within the time allotted schedule. I dare say that this event could easily have become a 3-day conference. There's so much to unravel, so much to unpack. And I'm just echoing what Catherine Clement and Melissa Lee were talking about. This panel today was just scratching the surface, a teaser to what I believe is going to be even bigger in its next manifestation. So I'm very excited. I'm very, like, a big clap to the Canadian Museum of History and me working closely with Alexis Boyle to really to spearhead this event. She did a phenomenal job putting this together, Alexis. And everything turned out fantastic. And I can be sure there will be a continuation of this, guaranteed. Step by step. Yeah, that was great. It was great. Oh, by the way, I was about to close off. However, this t-shirt was created exclusively for this event. This is the translation. Attention, every Chinese immigration certificate was received an envelope, and on the envelope it said attention, and saying that you do not want to bend or alter the contents, otherwise it'll be voided. This says like the photo must be matching to be authenticated, blah blah blah, and then here's where the photo is supposed to be. So it's basically an attention that do not mess up this certificate, don't bend it, don't ruin it, don't damage it, don't forge it. So, you know, it was quite intimidating. And the CI stands for Chinese Immigration. And there were these dizzying array of numbers of different series. 40, there was 5, new series 5, 36, 28, 45. Now, the reason why I chose 45 because this was a specific certificate where that if you were born in Canada, you're a Chinese Canadian, and you're born in Canada, you would still need to have this highly intrusive documentation, ID'd, because you're Chinese. So, me being born in Ottawa, Canada, had I been born in a different time period during this period, I would have been, you know, unlike everyone else, every other immigrants or whatnot had no issues or any already Canadian born, from another culture or from another country. Like they never got that. Only we were targeted, which is quite interesting and very very racist. So this is a reminder on the chest that to think and be mindful of all those who've been through this horrific dark past. Now, if I turn it around, it's also the back with more of the base. These are all the artwork based on the mural, but it's done in a way that's purposely for the t-shirt. And you have other CI certificates, and there's some messages that talk about, you know, the Chinese Exclusion Act. But if you really want, like, it's hard to show it here, but I will post these on my social media. I will post this on my website, and we were selling it today. I'm not sure. I believe we might have some, like the Canadian Museum of History boutique will still have some left, and if they do, you can go there to the boutique shop to purchase it, or you can go online on their web store. I believe they'll have it there too. But these are really high quality, you know, EEPMON artist exclusive drop for specifically the paper trail event. It's a really nice t-shirt. It has a good thickness to it. It's really good. Okay, so I might be shilling the t-shirt, but look at it. I think it's, you know, I designed it. I have to shill it. So, so yeah. So I thought I'd give you the show and tell. I thought that I would talk a bit about this event since I just came from it, and reflect a bit about my trajectory as an artist. And here I am. I hope you have a great day, a great afternoon, a great evening, and I will continue the late night channel Eps as usual tomorrow, another episode. So yeah, please comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and if any questions you have, drop down a comment, and yeah, maybe I'll see if I can answer it in my next episode or whatnot. But yes, this is EEPMON, the late night channel Eps signing off. It was kind of like a bit of a rant. I don't know what to call this title. What should it be? I don't know. I have to think about it. But anyway, I'm going to stop. Okay, tomorrow. Bye-bye.